Welcome to The Print. I am Apoorva Mandhani and here are the 5 most important laws passed by the government in 2023. On top of this list are the 3 new bills to replace the existing criminal laws, that is Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure or CRPC and the Indian Evidence Act. Now in August this year, these bills were first introduced. They were then referred to a 31-member parliamentary standing committee for review. This panel adopted its report on the bills on 7th November with opposition MPs pointing out several errors and recommending more than 50 changes. Later, the government withdrew the criminal law bills and reintroduced newer versions of the bills. They are now called Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita or BNS-2 to replace the IPC, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita BNSS 2 to replace the CRPC and the Bharatiya Sakshi Bill or BSB 2 to replace the Indian Evidence Act. The bills received presidential assent as well on 25th December, but there seems to be a lack of clarity around when the bills will actually come into force. The notification says that the laws shall come into force on such date as the central government may by notification appoint. Now, the second on this list is the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners' appointment, conditions of service and term of office Bill 2023. This bill is significant because the bill overturned a Supreme Court order from March this year when a 5-judge constitution bench of the Supreme Court modified the process for appointing members of the Election Commission of India. The court held that a committee comprising the Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition and the Chief Justice of India will advise the President on the ECI appointments. But the bill now takes the CJI out of the equation. It says that the Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners will be appointed by the President on recommendation by a select committee of Prime Minister, a Union Cabinet Minister and the Leader of Opposition or the Leader of the largest opposition party in Lok Sabha. Now, the third on this list is a bill that saw a lot of celebration. It was the Women's Reservation Bill 2023, the Constitution 128th Amendment Bill 2023. The bill reserves as nearly as maybe 1/3 of all seats, at 33% seats for women in Lok Sabha, state legislative assemblies and the Legislative Assembly of the National Capital Territory of Delhi. This will also apply to the seats reserved for SCs and STs in Lok Sabha and state legislature. The reservation is to be for a period of 15 years from the date of commencement of the Act. However, while the bill was largely celebrated, like I mentioned, there's a big catch. The provisions of the bill are unlikely to see the light in the coming general elections because it will come into force only after the delimitation exercise, which will be based on the population census, whose date has not been announced yet. Fourth on the list is the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2023. This was again another law that overturned a Supreme Court judgment passed in May this year. A 5-judge constitution bench of the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Arvind Kejriwal-led Delhi government to exercise its executive as well as legislative authority over the officers of various services, including those who are not recruited by it and have been allocated to Delhi by the Union of India. So this was the fight between the Delhi government and the LG on services. So the Supreme Court's ruling included the authority to transfer and post officers within the government, frame service rules for them or undertake any other measure for governance purposes, including passing a law in the Legislative Assembly. Now, this bill now replaces an ordinance promulgated days after the judgment. It creates a new statutory authority to handle transfer and posting of bureaucrats in the national capital. The law now creates a new statutory authority, which is the National Capital Civil Service Authority. This body will be headed by the elected Chief Minister of Delhi, in addition to the Chief Secretary and the Principal Secretary of the Home Department. The authority will make recommendations to the LG regarding transfers and postings of officials and disciplinary matters. However, the ordinance, just to let you know, was challenged in the Supreme Court and that challenge is currently pending. The fifth on this list is a set of 2 laws. It's the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023 and the Telecommunications Bill 2023. The DPDP Act became India's first data protection act after years of back and forth over the provisions that such a law should contain. However, it has continued to face severe criticism, especially over the fact that the law exempts government authorities from the application of and from the protections that the bill offers in the interest of specified grounds such as security of the state, public order and prevention of offences. As for the telecommunications bill, among other things, it requires telecom service providers to verify the identity of the users through any verifiable biometric-based information. This has again raised privacy-based concerns since biometric information is personal data. It further allows interception, monitoring, or blocking of messages or a class of messages between two or more people on certain grounds, again, including security of the state, friendly relations with other countries, prevention of incitement of offences, or public order. It also allows suspension of telecom services, including internet shutdowns on similar grounds. This is the list of 5 most important laws. However, I have written an article on this as well, and that list contains 10 laws. I'm going to add a link to the description of this video, a link to that article. So if you want, you can go check it out. Thank you so much for watching.